criticism of Tyson not defending his WBC title for the rest of this year now, presumably. What do you make of that? And is it just that the fights weren't available?
It's not that the fights wasn't available. They didn't want to fight Tyson, did they? He offered them money to fight. It was good paydays, and they opted to do another thing what backfired on them. He done a runner to people he thought was going to, be beneficial to him. It turned out the wrong way. It wasn't that Tyson didn't want to. Tyson won't avoid anybody because he knows he can beat them all at the counter. And all these people jumping on the Usyk case, let them jump on it. They're going to be very disappointed because he's in a class of his own, Tyson. He's going to take what's on the table. Francis Ngannou, top of the game. He's a world champion at what he does. He ain't going to wait around for nobody. He's the king of the ring, and all roads lead to him. If you want to fight Tyson, do what you say you're going to do. Fall in line and take what you're offered, or else it's down the road with you. He's at that stage in his career now, Tyson. He just basically, he's going to do what he wants to do, isn't he? And I don't blame him. He's had the right to do that.
Those are the words of Big John Fury, as he states, or as the interviewer from Seconds Out, this was a Seconds Out interview, shout out to Seconds Out, asked him, well, hey, those fights weren't available. And you heard Big John say, oh, those fights were. It wasn't the fact that they weren't available. They just didn't want to fight Tyson Fury. Let me counterpunch. First of all, there were fights available. Like John said, he did correct them because that was the narrative, that there was nobody available. See, according to Tyson Fury, he said that there was no other fights available for him. That's why he picked and chose Francis Ngannou. So, yeah, that's a lie on top of a lie on top of the truth on top of another lie. Then John goes to say, well, he'll beat all these guys. So, that's it. Everyone's jumping on the Usyk train. They'll be disappointed. Well, if he never fights him, I think we'll be disappointed because of that. But not if Tyson Fury beats him, because he has to fight him to beat him, right? And him saying, well, hey, well, we don't wait for nobody, and Francis Ngannou is on the top of his game at what he does. Okay, first of all, what he did was UFC. Okay, what he did was UFC. What he does now is practicing a sport that he's never actually professionally challenged himself in. That's what he's doing right now. So saying he's at the top of his game, no, well, actually, to correct you, John, the king is John Jones. He's the guy that's equivalent to Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury's never lost a boxing match. Neither has John Jones officially in the octagon. He hasn't. So that would be the person you would probably want to fight, except, instead of Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou came around because he left the UFC. Him and Dana White fell out. Okay, so that was that. They have beef. As far as I'm concerned, and as far as I know, they have beef. So Dana White does not work with Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou is no longer with the UFC. Therefore, boxing is the second alternative, and it's been a lucrative one for him, and shout out to him. Okay, but keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. The last thing that John Fury said is Tyson Fury does what he wants to do, and he's earned it. So basically all that other shit that you said, John, about, fights available, or, and then he's fighting Francis and we're not waiting for nobody and these guys don't want to fight. No, it's not the fact that they don't want to fight. There's a lot of guys that called out Tyson Fury. Otto Vailene for a rematch. Frank Sanchez, which was number 4 WBC. Andy Ruiz, which you guys proclaim that he asked for too much money and he denied it, but he didn't really, put too much emphasis on it. I think people should ask him that by now because, clearly he was lied on as well. Who else was there to fight him? Big Baby Miller would jump in a minute. A lot of fighters wanted to fight Tyson Fury. But like Big John Fury said, guys, Tyson does what he wants to do. And what he wanted to do, he wanted to fight Francis Ngannou, and he wanted to fight him all the way back in February. See, here's the thing. Here comes February once again to raise its beautiful head of truth. Why? Because these talks of Francis fighting Fury were all the way back when it was still cold as hell in the U.S., right? It was still wintertime when they were talking about that, because we heard Big John Fury say that Francis Ngannou has a better chance against Tyson Fury than Alexander Usyk does. Well, that's your way of slick capping and sliding that in there, that you want Tyson to fight Francis Ngannou. Really, you're letting the cat out of the bag, stating that, yeah, we're talking to Francis Ngannou right now. He just didn't want people to know. But Tyson, shout out to Sporting Icons, had already exposed it, because he already said it on Instagram that, hey, thank you. What was the Prince Khalid's brother's name, right? For everything. Like, why the hell would you be thanking him for everything? What did he do for you? No, he's helping you get this deal done with Francis Ngannou, a fight that you want to get made. And Alexander Usyk, Frank Sanchez, Andy Ruiz, even Anthony Joshua are in the way of what you want to get done. You don't want to deal with any of those guys because you're not really a true fighter no more. See, true fighters that want to prove themselves in the ring, they would challenge themselves with the people that challenge them. See, Francis Ngannou is a guy that's a novice. Yes, I hope he knocks out Tyson Fury too, because that shows him a lesson. That shows you exactly why Deontay Wilder chose Tyson Fury. But it also shows why Tyson Fury picked Deontay Wilder. Lack of skill. Francis Ngannou, lack of skill. Okay? You got Dillian White and Derek Chisora. Those guys are not where they used to be, but they have a certain style that is comfortable, or that can gel with Tyson Fury style a lot easier. See, it's easier to win against a guy or guys like that with those type of styles that lack footwork and foot movement and speed and all that other stuff. So it's according to Big John, he's like, hey, yeah, they were there, and Tyson does what he wants to do. And he's absolutely right. And Tyson is choosing to fight a guy that he's been in talks with secretly since February. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Big John Fury stating that Tyson Fury does what he wants to do. There were fights on the table, but they didn't want to fight Tyson Fury. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!